Because he is really genuinely concerned. Like, you don't like chocolate? No, I love chocolate. You just look like someone. My husband who perished in the war.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Hello and welcome to the 11th episode of Season 5 of your mom's Pahdcast, the only podcast worth walking out on a date with one of Degrassi's coolest girls. I'm Avis.
I'm Caroline.
And today we are discussing Degrassi Season 5, Episode 14, Eye Against Eye. Roses are red. Emma's home is broken. Condoms make kids have sex. Are you joking? I like it. It's cute. I like that Emma's home is broken. Jesus. All right. Though Spinner has found the Lord and new friends, he's still yearning for his old ones. Luckily, a lonely Margot is willing to open the lines of communication, and the two reconnect. Unfortunately, misplaced Game of Thrones character Linus has issues with contraception and Marco, and poor Spinner's too dumb not to fall for his manipulative nonsense. Over in the B-plot, alleged adult Caitlin takes teen Manny's advice and hires some strippers to make Spike feel better about her husband jamming his tongue down the principal's throat. All I could think about of this B-plot, though, was like girlfriend like boyfriend, or like boyfriend like girlfriend. Because I'm like,
At least Joey had the decency to be like, no, Craig, you don't get to come to the striptease.
no strippers for you, Craig.
Whereas
But that was
Caitlin,
that was like 2 years ago. So they're clearly more,
they're still minors.
they're mature,
They're
Caroline.
still minors.
Emma's about to experience anorexia. She's growing up.
Minors. Any exotic dancer, like any reputable exotic dancer, and like those guys came from a company. There's frankly no way that like the first round of dancers didn't come in and have one of them be like, I'm sorry, how old are these two?
You said there's frankly no way. You're like, I call bullshit on the legality of the situation.
Do you have any idea how bad it can be for like a company that provides sex work, like openly, like a phone sex company or a strip club or a escort or like a dancer service or whatever, like for them to get caught dancing for underage girls would be catastrophic.
Right. I think that the show wants us not to think about the legality of the situation.
Okay, well, what about the morality of the situation? Like, it is so weird.
It's strippers is treated like...
Liz was there, why didn't Liz say anything about this?
Because Liz is just a background character and she's there as a courtesy. At least she's got a semi-cute haircut. No, it's giving, chill out. They're just strippers. Like, why are you so casual about this situation, especially Spike? I feel like Spike is like the more quote uptight one. Right. So why isn't she like waving the flag? Like, and then Emma seems to object to strippers for a nondescript reason.
Emma seems to object to strippers because she doesn't think that it would be a good idea.
A good idea. That's right.
Like, she doesn't think that's what her mom needs.
But then she's like bringing her mom these crusty question mark brownies. Where the fuck did she got these brownies at the charity festival, the fall, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, she does live like right down the block from Degrassi, though.
And you know what? That bugs me because the fact that her mom gave her a ride that one day and she's like, when you asked for a ride, I thought that you wanted to talk. Why would that be the place to talk? Why would that be why would you?
Maybe because it takes like 3 times longer to drive because of the traffic.
What? We never.
I don't know. The logistics of the neighborhood, like, because
The logistics of the neighborhood.
literally a stone's throw from the school when it's convenient.
Correct.
But then
Correct.
sometimes she needs a ride.
And then sometimes she needs a ride. Yeah. Sometimes she can foot it. Then sometimes she needs a ride.
Sometimes she and Manny can leave the parking lot where the festival is being held, and right across the street
Is the house.
is her front door.
Yeah. And she doesn't have another plate to cover those brownies. So they're just catching all the air outside.
Yeah,
those are outside smelling ass motherfucking brownies now. I don't know why you think that would. And then you
she's
go
like,
home. She wait. Then she went. I was gonna say, and then they have their feet up on the fucking coffee table next to the plate of brownies that are supposedly supposed to be cheer up brownies, but they've got particles of your fucking shoes. And who puts their feet?
I mean, I think they put their feet up because Spike was vacuuming.
They had their feet up reading magazines. No.
Anyway.
I'm just so annoyed by those brownies. They look like those fudgy, walnut-covered brownies that you can get out of a plastic pouch.
Can I just say it annoys me that Caitlyn comes back and we get no, like, is she dating Kevin Smith?
Nothing. We get nothing. We don't deserve anything, is what they're telling us.
Yeah.
We don't deserve to know. We just know she's in LA and fuck Joey. We just know her and Joey aren't happening, which I guess is good enough for me. But no, the fact that it's like, hey, it's Caitlyn, this is going to fix the situation. Caitlyn brings very little to the table.
My notes before Liz showed up include, you should have called Lucy instead. Hell, Liz would have been an improvement.
Literally, and like my brain knew it wasn't Liz or Lucy. However, those would be vastly superior choices.
Fucking Caitlyn's list for the cheer up committee is chick movie marathon, arts and crafts, face painting, and cotton candy.
Are
you throwing a carnival?
I was gonna say, are you throwing a carnival themed birthday party for a 10-year-old who maybe should consider? Because some of these things are you are eclipsing past with age. Because that would be a lame ass 12-year-old's birthday party. Let's just be real. Like a 12-year-old be like, no, we're not doing face painting. We're just not. We're not gonna paint shit, and we're not gonna paint.
Did she mean like makeovers?
Did she mean makeovers? And what the cotton candy? Like what grown ass woman is like, you know what this situation needs? That's gonna top it all off and make me feel better? Cotton candy.
Maybe cotton candy is like Spike's, like,
I feel like if it was, Emma would be all over that shit.
That's a
There was cotton candy at that carnival. She would have had a cotton candy little, balloon thing like stuck on top of the plate if she cared about her mother not eating outside brownies.
I feel like the cotton candy would be worse.
It would be worse.
Like,
Spike just does not seem to be in a sweet
like
mood.
she's gonna she's like cotton candy, all the air particles.
Oh, what if a fly gets stuck in it? And the moisture.
Manny was just real close to Derek. Like,
oh god, yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you heard that interruption by my
interruption, but that was fun.
He just like burst through the door and then went, "Oh, sorry," and then fumbled about his things.
I did not hear the "oh sorry," or I would have yelled, "Hey, fo!" I just didn't want to have to
He wouldn't hear you if you yelled "Hey Fo." It would just be in my ears. Please don't yell in my ears.
Well, I'm glad I didn't do that.
Please only
I'm also-
whisper creepily like Jimmy Brooks in my ears.
You know what? I've got a screenshot for you when we get there. I feel pretty bad about the fact that Spike has to endure this bullshit.
She seems like she's having a good time before the like. He looks more like I can see the resemblance more now than I could as a teenager. But
Yeah,
he still does not look like.
he's got like old school Snake kind of essence.
Okay, valid.
Essence. Not, I wouldn't even say likeness
The
because
hair, yeah.
the hair. Like, you look like my husband 20 years ago.
It's the tall and fair, but Snake doesn't have those weird bug eyes.
He does not. Yeah, his features are different. The guy's features are different enough to
I
be
hope
like,
they tipped them so well.
well, because of the like, that guy is gonna go home and be like, that was some intense shit. What did her husband do to her?
Right?
Because he is really genuinely concerned. Like, you don't like chocolate? No, I love chocolate. You just look like someone. My husband
Oh,
perished in the wall. That's what the fuck it's giving.
it is like
Like, oh my gosh, Spike. Like, stop being so dramatic. Like, Snake is alive. You can see him. You can see him.
yesterday.
You saw him yesterday. And you just stared at his bitch ass.
He brought you a necklace.
The perfect gift. That's a pretty gift. He brought her. But like,
Okay, so here are my thoughts. One is like when she's like, Sapphire, my birthstone. Like, the bar is in hell. He knows your birthstone. And then
you said the bar is in hell. The birthstone is easily researchable.
And then it also, like, it made me. Well, and if your woman's birthstone is, like, one of the good ones, like an emerald or a sapphire, like, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
Like, mine is aquamarine. I don't really care for my birthstone. It's fine.
I always forget what my birthstone is, even though I have something in my birthstone. Oh,
And I think February.
it's a ruby. It's a ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my mom's something. Amethyst is February.
Oh, that's right. Because I was always purple was my favorite color when
Right.
I was
same.
a kid, and I was always jealous that my mom had a purple birthstone, and mine was aquamarine, which I thought was stupid at the time.
Yes, I have a bracelet with the June birthstone because it's purple. It was an heirloom. It was not my birthstone, so I just wear it. But mine is a ruby, and I'm not a big, like, as I sit here in a big ass red poncho. It's very comfortable. I'm not a big red fan, so I don't typically wear red, and I don't think, and not that it would look bad on me, but I've never been given anything with rubies on it, so I wouldn't be like, oh, it's perfect. But April, y'all balling, baby. Y'all balling, baby. Or opal would be pretty.
I fucking love an opal.
And that's a pretty name. I think that was her
April's
name.
ballin'. But like, if your girl's birthstone is like a diamond, emerald, or sapphire, you're gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if by girl we mean wife.
By girl, we do mean wife. And is Spike a Virgo? What is she?
I don't know. Her birthday's in September.
So she could be a Virgo or she could be a Leo?
But my other thought during that was, because all roads lead to The Office for me. There's an episode of The Office where Michael has started dating this woman, and it turns out she's married, but everybody's like, I think she's got like another man in her life. And one of the pieces of evidence is that she's wearing like these heart-shaped earrings, and all of the women in the office are like, women do not buy themselves heart-shaped jewelry.
No. No, we don't.
Like, and like, yes, it is a pretty necklace, but women do not buy ourselves heart-shaped jewelry because we're not super fond of it.
It reminds me of the little necklace that they pass around that was Jackie's in the Yellow Jackets. The little heart shape, but it's like a more stylized, it's like that curved heart that's like, but like it looks like kind of a mini version of the Heart of the Ocean from Titanic, like a little bit, like a
Yeah,
very
it
mini
is like a
version.
very mini version.
Teeny
And
tiny.
it's the sapphire. It's not the Hope Diamond. He does
It
not
is
love her
not.
that much.
It
He
is
does not
not
love
the
her
whole
so much that
diamond.
well, baby, I went down and got it for you.
Well, baby, I thought the old lady threw it in the ocean. Yeah. I feel like nobody is accounting for the fact that number one, Spike has been in love with this guy for years. And two, she is just celebrating her third marriage. She would be celebrating her third marriage anniversary. Like, this is a new marriage. Why would she want to walk away from it? I don't know that everybody's giving her like they're trying not to step on her feelings and they're trying not to invalidate her, but why is everybody encouraging her to move on, like, and listening
Right.
to what she's saying? Like, because if it were me listening to my friend who would be celebrating her third year of marriage, I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Your feelings are valid. But I'm also, in my mind, I'm also not going to say fuck him, dump him. Um, I think
I
that it's
did
a
say your feelings are valid and let's take some time and like work
right.
through them and feel them out and figure them out because your feelings are intense right now.
Your
This is
feelings are
a
intense. It's
traumatic thing
still
that just happened
new.
to you.
It's not like he's your boyfriend and you guys like this is a marriage. They're like Emma doesn't have that conception.
He is the father.
Fucking Caitlyn doesn't have that conception.
Well,
Yes.
I think that Emma wants Snake back, but
Mm-hmm.
what Spike is saying is that she doesn't, and Emma's loyalty is to Spike before it's to her,
Of
to
course.
herself in this situation. Like, I don't blame Emma for
I
being like,
don't
nope,
blame
my mom
Emma.
hates you, so I hate you too. Fuck you and the bike you rode in on.
I don't think that Emma's wrong. I think she's out of her depth. I think that she cannot like just like when they were talking about Spike getting pregnant. She
Mm-hmm.
has no idea what it's like to actually be in the driver's seat of these situations. So her loyalty should absolutely be to her mom because she doesn't truly understand the inner workings of their marriage, and nor should she. She is the child. She played her role in getting him to tell her what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
and she feels like she has to support her. But at the same time, um, it's not necessarily her place to be like, "Oh, mom, get back with dad," but it could be Caitlyn's place to be like, "You are in a vulnerable state right now and making hard and fast decisions." Or making, like encouraging her to get over and grieve the relationship that she's not sure she wants to grieve sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
don't know.
it's short-sighted in my and it's very Caitlyn-esque to be short-sighted.
I also, and like, far be it from me to want to say nice things about Caitlyn,
Mm-hmm. Far
but
be it from you.
but if you told me like, because in her delivery when she's like, well, you said you're done, so you've got to get over him, hun, or whatever it is she says,
Mm-hmm.
that's very like direct and bordering on harsh,
Mm-hmm.
that that may have been Caitlyn being like, okay, you've said you want this. Do you actually want it, or are we ready to talk about the fact that you don't want to like dissolve your marriage about this?
And I wonder if that's the conversation that they had, because she does say, I'm still in love with him, which I think that was a granted. I don't think that's, that I think that was very evident that she's very hurt because she's still in love with him. but more, it's not, oh, I still want to be with him.
Right. But I
That's
just
the
like,
question they kind of have to dig into. And I wonder, do they have that conversation after Spike
well, I
says
mean,
what she
he's back
says?
in the house next episode.
Yeah, he is back in the house
You
next
know, and
episode.
and I'm not saying that I do believe it was Caitlyn's motivation, but like I'm willing to extend Caitlyn the grace of the possibility that her being like, you know, first we've got to cheer you up because like Spike can't do anything while she's just like stress cleaning about it.
Yeah.
She's got to cycle through into some other emotion, you know, and
Mhm.
she's really mostly just been angry. So let her laugh a little bit, then let her think that the stripper looks like Snake and let her cry about it.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know, maybe Caitlyn was intentional in all of her doings.
Oh, you're talking that Caitlyn had a plan. That's
Caitlyn had a
interesting.
plan because I do
Interesting.
the pointed way when she's like, and I forget what she says, but like she ends it with a hun. She's like, you said you want it, you were done, like, so you
Yeah.
need to like be done. Like I think might have been her being like, okay, so can we talk about the fact that you're full of shit and you're not ready to throw your marriage away? Like you're
Right.
just mad, your pride is hurt, and you're angry and you feel betrayed, and like all of that is valid, and marriage is complicated and you're not sure that you're ready to throw everything away because of this thing.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. It feels I don't know that it well, okay, I don't know that I will go as far to say that I feel like she was that calculated because I just don't believe that. But what
That's
I
so
will
powerful.
say is she plays hardball, where I don't know that I would necessarily ever reach the level of being like, you know, you got to move on and this is what she wanted. I would not, I don't think that I would go that far. I have a tough love about me, but I don't know. I feel like I would be like, look, it's clear that you're having some big fucking feelings. I think that you should take a second and decide if what avenue you're pursuing. You know, like, are you pursuing ending this relationship, ending this marriage? Or are you pursuing trying to talk about it? Because they haven't even talked about it beyond the arguing that we heard when she found out.
Yeah, no, she pretty much kicked him out right away, which like fine.
Which fine, get out of my face. I don't even want to see you.
But
Okay.
also like also you're a whole ass adult with two ass children between you. Like have your initial thing, make him go stay at Joey's for the weekend. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
But you have to talk to him at some point, and a lot of time has passed, and your daughter is really stressed out about it.
She is, and it's like they're in limbo. Like, she really does not want to confront anything that's happened, so she's like, I just don't want to see you. I want you out of my face.
And I just don't think you have that luxury when you have children.
No, like
And
you,
like and that feels unfair to say because like having children doesn't like change the fact that you're a whole ass person with your
and
own
you
baggage
feel
and
right.
history and feelings and coping mechanisms.
But at the same time, not dealing with issues because you are wanting to things to kind of be suspended in time isn't fair to your children.
Right.
And it puts you guys all on pause, which Emma's not going to be on pause forever. Like, Emma is going to start having control issues, clearly. Um, where is Jack? Where his ass at?
He's staying at Joey's with Snake.
Oh, mm-hmm.
No boys allowed.
Because clearly the show would
This is
love
back
to
to being
have us
the
forget.
Nelson household.
All she has to do is vacuum up after these fucking girls. Like, she doesn't have a toddler. There's a truck on the table to maybe indicate that a toddler was there previously, but we see no Jack in this episode. It's like she's a single mom again. with just Emma plus her and her bonus daughter. Like,
Right.
I don't understand why we just forget a whole toddler. Like, a whole toddler just doesn't exist. But then that theory, so I guess Joey's babysitting, huh? Because why does he come over without the baby? Where is the baby, Caroline?
Hanging out with
Where's the
Joey.
CPS is good, whatever the equivalent is,
No,
child
Diane's
services.
there. It's fine.
I'm
Jack
gonna
is
call
probably getting more attention
I'm gonna
than
call
he's gotten
child
in the last
services
year with
on
Emma's fucking gonorrhea throat. Like,
no, I have to call child
no,
services, the
Diane's
Canadian
there.
equivalent
He's
on whatever
fine.
the
Diane is
20-year-old
there.
situation. This
If
20-year-old
Diane
ass
weren't there,
situation.
she's 23. Diane's fine.
You know what?
Oh, you mean Degrassi's like 20? Yeah, okay. I'm picking
I
up
was
what
like,
you
this
mean now.
situation is 20 years old, but I'm
It
still
is.
calling the authorities. This isn't a grown ass man at this point. But no, it's like the endangerment. I really don't like that the story makes him such a burden in one episode. Like, he's got colic and he's keeping the whole fucking house up with the colic, and then Emma's going crazy because there's
He
also
died of the
leaky
colic.
pipes.
Did he die?
Did
Because,
he
like, do
die
we
of the colic?
ever.
Yes, he's in the
Did
thumbnail for the next fucking episode, Caroline.
Baby Jack?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, his little ass is back.
Hold on.
With a
I want
vengeance.
when he falls into the black hole.
Not soon enough, because he's just a burden on the family and the resources.
He really is. Emma has to live in the basement.
She's getting like, what do you get? What do you get when you're exposed to like open water sources that are dirty? Can't you get something?
You can get a lot of things. You
Okay,
can
so
get.
she's got a panel. We need to run a panel on this girl. She's got exposure to a lot of things. That basement isn't zoned to be a bedroom. All you guys did was put her fucking bed down there. Did you put up some drywall? Kinda. But I think you did more like curtain vibes. I think that you didn't really change. They're poor, so they just threw her in the basement.
Dude, I fuck Emma for being so salty about that though, because like as a teenage girl, like having a window that you can easily sneak in and out of
Is prime access.
Like-
Is prime house access. I mean, I just used to sneak out on my roof and read. So that's the extent of the sneaking I did.
Oh, I used to just take advantage of the fact that my parents were heavy sleepers and go right out the front door.
Oh, okay. I didn't have anywhere to go, Caroline. I wasn't running the streets.
My dad has narcolepsy and my mom's a heavy sleeper, so like
I felt so bad because when we were in the Airbnb, I dropped my phone because I was using it as a flashlight. Though the distance, I was in an unfamiliar place. And the fucking door almost took my fucking life away. Because that shit, it was a sliding door, folks. So the shit was weighted, as I'm sure most sliding doors are, to make them gain momentum to slide. I know that there's like a latch that you could access to like pull it across, and I'd learned that accidentally. So I did that, a little too happy, flicked it across, was still hooked, almost fucked my hand and life up, and it was loud.
and my mom barely stirred, did she?
No, she really did not at all. My mom had her little sound machine on.
I want to go on so many more mother-daughter retreats.
Me too. If my former child is a girl after she's out of diapers, is she invited?
I mean, she's gotta be.
I guess she's invited when she's in my stomach. But
Yeah,
then
she
after
can
that,
come then, but then after that, like,
you're
she's
like,
gotta
she's
be at
gotta
least
be
like 3.
right.
4,
Like
really 4.
4 is a good personality age.
Mhm.
3-year-olds can be kind of annoying. They kind of they can still be pissing themselves.
But like, we're gonna need another 4-year-old.
Another one to group them up with. Well, we'll see what we got.
Because like, it sucks to be like the only kid
Well, S is trying to reinforce in me that we only need one child.
Well, right, you do only need one
And
child.
so she's like, okay, well, we can just have the child play by it themselves. And I'm like, that's only going to work, but for so long. I was an only child for a time. I remember. Okay.
Right, like your kid needs like
That's why my mom got me a cat.
no, a cat's not good enough though.
I used to
You
dress
need
my
like
cat up.
cousins at least.
I had cousins, but they sucked.
Well, that's no good.
It
You
is
need
no
good
good. You need
cousins.
good
You
cousins.
need good
I
cousins.
had some good cousins. I had like 3 good cousins, and like the rest of them were terrible.
I was younger than all my cousins on my mom's side, and then like my dad's brother didn't have any kids, and then my stepdad like I don't know. I was close with my cousin Tyler for a while when we were teenagers, but she and I haven't talked in years. Not because there's like bad blood. We just like she moved south
Mm-hmm.
when social media was still new and not everybody had it.
Right. Right.
And I just like I don't know. We're Facebook friends, but
Yeah, it's understandable to drift. Lack of communication shall do that. And it sucks. I feel like we're all in such constant communication that I see my phone as that. And I'm like, I'm gonna leave my obligation brick over there. Thank you.
mhm.
And it is like if I'm on my phone, I have an obligation to respond, which is not true.
I gotta get better about putting my phone down because I find that like it's so hard for me to put it down, but then
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoy not being tethered to it.
Yes, I do too. I have my watch on just in case anybody really needs to reach me, but I'm usually not it's not necessarily, like it's not about anything important. Like I'll answer it if it's S because we spend time apart from each other, but
Mhm.
I am very good about especially getting my Kindle like kind of just like I don't spend the last hour plus on my phone like before bed like I used to. Now I just read, which is nice. But yeah, it's very weird to feel like 'cause I do remember when going home from school was like unplugging and like being anonymous or whatever, just like not having to be bothered
Right. But like you also could tap into the social hub if you wanted to.
if I wanted to.
At
Yes.
like at any given time you were unless it was like 2 in the morning, if you hopped on AIM, there were going to be people you enjoyed talking to active.
Yeah. But there were still times when people would call my house because I didn't have a cell phone and I would get the option of being like, I am not here.
Even when I had a cell phone, people would still call my house because it was that point in time when minutes like
That's
weren't
true
free till
after,
9.
yeah, till 9. Till that. Oh, till 9 was beautiful. I actually had a phone for a while that did not have any minutes during the day. You could not reach me during the day. My phone actually became a phone after 9. Because
Oh my
I had
god.
no money and nobody was giving me any phone cards to get. Yeah, what a
God, what a
time to
time.
be alive. Miss my little fish phone. Um,
I remember like having a phone for a while, then not having a phone for a while, then having one again, like
mhm,
kind of cycling through friends who had not yet signed up for a cell phone plan.
mhm.
Like you're not like me cycling through people, but like your friend group would do that. Where
Yeah,
there'd be like 3, 4 of you. So you'd have, you know,
yeah, connection. Yeah, no, I would have like I think it was the time between my mom finally breaking down because only she had a cell phone for so long because she needed it for work, and then
mhm.
getting everybody on a family plan when we were going into high school. And it was like, okay, now you have a phone. And before that, if I was out during the day, I would have to have my friend's phone, like my mom knowing, okay, you're with this friend who I will not say on the air, who was also named, well, I guess I can, who's also named Caroline.
Nice. Shout out to Caroline.
Shout out to Caroline. And yeah, I would have to be that was how I was contacted, because that was the era of the razor, and I never got a razor. My friend had a pink razor.
I had a pink razor for a while. My
Fuck
first
you.
Yeah, I know, right? It was so cute.
Fuck
I also
you,
had like a
man.
purple LG flip phone at one point.
I love
It
when
was like a dark purple. It was so pretty. I loved that phone. I also had this ugly orange thing with a like the slide up
yeah,
keyboard.
that was the
I think it
phone
was like a
that family
Sony
planned.
Ericsson.
I think I had that one too. I had it was white faced, and it was like a really pretty teal color, like accented, and I took so many little like flip up selfies with that thing.
My first phone was like an LG flip phone that was like a it was like a blue, like if you mixed like blue with like gunmetal gray.
Okay, and that was the entire phone, or that was the accent?
No, that was the whole phone. And it
Okay.
was just like it was a little flip phone.
Oh, okay. That's cute. Did it have, well, no, the screen came later. Like having the little, or like the tiny screen, not the bigger
Yeah,
one.
it could
Like
take
this.
pictures, I think, but like they weren't any good.
No. There was a phone that you could keep it closed. It was a flip phone, but that you could keep it closed and take a picture on the front of the phone.
I remember that.
There were a lot of like, my cousins had the sidekicks. I was obsessed with their sidekicks, and we were on T-Mobile at the time, and my mom told me I could not get a sidekick because they were ridiculously expensive.
Well, and it was so much more like the data or whatever.
Yes, and we didn't we did not have internet. So she was not, and I think it was right. It was required. Like you could not have the phone without the internet plan. And my cousins they got shit like that. So
I
they just let me
remember
play with their phones. That's fine.
when I moved to Indiana, my boyfriend at the time was still in Delaware and didn't have a cell phone. I was on like my mom's plan. And we were Verizon. So I remember I bought him like a Verizon prepaid
Mm.
so that we could talk during the day.
Okay.
Cause minutes.
You got money, honey.
No, it wasn't like it was like I bought like a $50
Well, no, yes.
and like
Then you got a
I was
card.
like, this is to talk to me and like literally to talk to me. If you want to put more on it, like that's on you.
Yeah. I had a couple burners like that.
I have no idea how we got here.
I don't either.
I look
I'm
forward
so
to listening
high.
in like 6 weeks.
I'm so high. Okay. Did we finish up, I think, through Caitlin and our disappointment, or at least my
Yeah, I
disappointment?
feel like I've
Let
got
me look at
everything.
let me look at my notes. Excuse me. Some more.
I'm still really mad about letting Emma and Manny be there for strippers. That's not okay.
Yeah.
I feel like weird lack of boundaries with parents and children and sex, and in particular sex work,
Is weird.
is weird. I don't like
It's
it.
happened enough on the show that we kind of have to think about why. Yeah, no, I looked at my notes, and I think the only note I had left over was like, obviously we're getting the seeds for pre eating disorder, with Manny being weighed, like the guess your weight thing,
Yep.
and her being affronted at Danny's guess. And then Emma like smacking her hand away for the brownies and asking her how tiny she is or whatever.
I get the smacking her hand away was because they were for Spike, I guess. But yes.
I guess.
No, we're definitely.
Spike's just gonna eat an entire fucking plate of like corner store brownies. Unwrapped. Take it. That look like, it literally looks like they got like 3 or 4 brownies, unwrapped them, like rip them apart with their hands, not even cut them up like civilized folk. Just rip them up with their hands roughly and put them on a plate. They don't look good.
No.
But yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so on to the A plot then.
Yeah, which is
Do you have anything else to say about these brownies?
I
Are you
do
sure?
no, I
Do you
truly
want to
am.
double check your notes?
I I did,
I
and
love
I
you so
had
much.
a full page of pretty much my B plot notes were all trashing these brownies and Caitlin.
I'm
So
so glad you're my best friend.
I am so glad you're my best friend.
Anyway, okay. Um, my first note was that like I feel like the line to dunk spinner would be way longer.
Sorry.
Like I just feel like that line would be way longer.
I am so sorry, guys. There is no way that I think it's possible that the line was longer because he says the first one today, so maybe many have tried, but many have failed. And then
Not Jimmy.
Linus is like, I'm gonna get spinner dunked, so just you hold my beer, my non-alcoholic beer, root beer. No, it feels if I'm gonna say that anybody's calculated in this episode, it's Linus.
I hate Linus. I
I
hate
hate
Linus.
him, and
No,
I
and
know
I know
that's
it's
the
at one point
point.
I'm like, this is giving me like Littlefinger. The way that he's like doing this loyalty test with Spinner
Yeah.
and like it's no, it
I hate it so much. I hate that Spinner desires to be to like show that loyalty because like Linus accepted him or whatever. Um I hate that he is so eager to please and he's so yearning to belong.
I mean, I get it.
I get it, and I know that that's a very common thing for and like that's been a lot of what his arcs have been about is just like wanting to be accepted. Like he's poor, and people are talking about him being poor, and he doesn't like that, etc. But like now, it just feels like he's in cult territory. He's into like literally being inducted into a Christian a high school Christian cult.
And I think that that's an appropriate like the timing of this is appropriate, right? Because like we don't talk enough about how isolation makes you susceptible to falling for shit from people who will welcome you.
Right.
And like when people fuck up or are being dumb or being shitty, like they do not deserve to have like be coddled through learning how to do better and being told that they need to do better.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely don't deserve that coddling. And they need it. And it's bullshit because the people who have to like have those conversations with them don't deserve to have to do that level of emotional labor.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, I
it's
get
not
it.
Marco's job to realize that what Spinner's going through is hard and lonely.
No, I don't think that, first of all, I think that that's pretty inherent, that that's what would prompt him to join friendship club. I don't know why it's such a big mystery. They frame like Marco frames it like he couldn't possibly understand what would lead him to friendship club. And it's almost like we're supposed to think Marco's dumb. Like Marco understands the draw of religion as a whole, like the belonging aspect of it and being part of a religious community. That is a lot of what people, and I think just like we've talked about it before because of Darcy, but just like the soul winning and like the fact that you're trying to sell Jesus as a concept is always going to be a red flag for me.
Right. But it's not a red flag to somebody who is vulnerable and looking for forgiveness and
Mm-hmm.
redemption and friendship and love.
Right. it's like Spinner's the perfect candidate for that. He kind of overlooks a lot of the other things that are clearly wrong with Linus and the Friendship Club as a whole. Um, and Darcy too, to an extent, because Darcy's been fed a version of propaganda about the group being tolerant and respectful, except when you try to promote safer sex, apparently.
Or get
Or,
sexually assaulted while
right,
after getting roofied at a ski
correct,
lodge.
right,
Fuck
because
him. Fuck
they
him.
turn against her again. But that, it feels like this whole arc is supposed, like, we're obviously supposed to hate Linus, but I also don't, it like, it cannot be understated how dangerous Linus is, and how his way of thinking, like, he literally says, oh, yes, we believe in tolerance and respect, but these are our values too. You can't believe in both. Like, the way that they're approaching the situation is not tolerant or respectful.
No, and like the power trip that Spinner is clearly on, the like self righteous power trip that Spinner's on, about a thing that's like not even really a conviction of his.
Mm-hmm.
When Darcy's like, seriously, you're gonna go protest this thing? And he's like, I answer to a higher power. And like,
Yeah.
no, it's alarming.
It is how radicalized he becomes because of Linus, who, the fact that he's hmm, the fact that Linus is saying things that encourage him to put his neck out for the situation is alarming. It's like he knows the right things to say, he knows the buttons to push to essentially lock Spinner into doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And he does the same with Darcy. Like, Darcy is immobilized by his words as well. Like,
Even though she
she's,
knows they're bullshit.
even though she knows they're bullshit, like, starting to say, have you ever listened to Linus? Like, really listen to him. Like, she has. She is observant. She realizes that maybe he says these things to get people in the club, but then when you're actually in the club and you're friends with everybody and you're ingrained and whatever, you might do things that technically could be found in the Bible, but there are a lot of things that technically could be found in the Bible that people that would consider themselves good Christians don't practice because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, I think too, there's a reason why like teen youth groups are always led by an adult.
An adult. There's just like a rove of like supervised teenage clubs in
On
this
like
school
I'm sorry, the Bible is like a difficult text.
to
There's a lot
interpret,
that's
and
open
yes,
to interpretation,
correct.
and some of it's honestly like allegorical, some
Mm-hmm.
of it is poetic, like, and
Mm-hmm.
metaphorical and what have you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. The
It
Bible
just,
is a
yeah, it would benefit that group to have an advisor who could assist them in interpreting the Bible, which is called Bible study.
right.
That's why people do Bible studies, so that they can actually talk about what the Bible is saying and conceptualize and contextualize it. Because a lot of people will just take it at face value if reading alone, which is a way of like it's just a way of delving deeper into and being critical of the text,
Right.
like any other study of a book. If you treat the Bible like any other text, I know that people who, use it as a faith-based text don't do that necessarily, but that is basically what Bible study is thinking deeply about the text. And it's like he's taking it at face value, but he's also taking his bigotry and his extremism and injecting it into the and cherry picking through passages, probably because he's been taught to,
Right.
for what to fuel his religious rhetoric, or his religiously harmful rhetoric.
Yeah. No, it's
he, like, I just know that he planned all along to use Spinner as the mouthpiece, so that when he, like, stepped up and he's like, oh yeah, coming at Marco about church and everything, and all of the gross things that he talks to Marco about would be justified because he has Spinner on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the
Well, and he's
legitimacy
been
of
sitting there
Spinner.
pushing Spinner, like,
Mm-hmm.
and not that this is not at all in a way to like absolve Spinner or make Spinner the victim here, because like Spinner
Fully
went with it, you
participates.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? But also, I don't know, I get
He
it
was
because
led
like Linus has
astray. He
been
was
your
manipulated.
friend in the wake
Right.
of this. You've
Mm-hmm.
just come up against, like, you've just come into the fold with Marco again. You don't know that he's gonna,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Jimmy's gonna draw a line in the sand and say it's me or Spinner, and Marco's gonna say, okay, then it's you, you know?
Right. I mean, Spinner has loyalty to Linus because Linus was there.
Yeah,
And
no, and Spinner, well,
yeah,
and Linus is in a bit of like authority over Spinner, like not power,
yeah, not
but
power. Yeah,
authority.
but he's still learning about the Bible. He's still like there's like a teacher student relationship almost. There's like a mentorship aspect of like, I like, this is what the Bible says, like, this is what you believe, right? Like, there's definitely power play that is not, oh, he's the boss, but he's clearly a influential presence over the friendship club. Like, he's organizing without specific members so that he can
He is at
accomplish
the very least the
what he wants to.
unofficial leader, like
He
if
is their
not the
unofficial
official
leader.
leader.
Like, he's him leading votes and gathering them strategically.
Right. Yeah, no, it's again, it's very Littlefinger. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're not far enough in Game of Thrones yet to know that he's like a player in the game.
I did not know that.
Okay, well, when you, as Littlefinger develops as a character, I want you
Mm-hmm.
to think about Linus
Okay, I
in
will.
this one episode where we really get to see Linus
This one episode.
before he
Yeah,
falls into the black hole.
yeah, because isn't it just Kim who slut shames Darcy?
Yeah, she's the only one that like remains after this
Yeah, because
episode.
there's the other standout girl who, like, Jay was preying upon.
Melinda.
Melinda, yeah. But why? Wait, is it Darcy? I'm afraid of dying. But why, Darcy? Gossip. Sorry. I just like the sometimes, like, the simple and plain way they make them speak is very annoying. And obviously because they're supposed to be religious folk, they do that with Becky Baker. They just make her talk like Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, and it's like, please, please stop. Um, yeah, Linus is just so, he's such a form of someone, like the highest form of someone who is an extreme hypocrite. The first thing he says is, why don't you go to church? You should go to church. And then Marco's like, I do every Sunday, bitch. I sing
Right.
in the choir. My mom makes the sauce for the fucking shit afterward. I don't know where that, like, South Philly accent came from, but it feels like him, like, and then automatically being like, oh, they let you in. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, isn't your whole mission here to convert everyone to your Christian sect?
Did you just like, were you not exposed to evangelicals?
I was. I feel like I don't, the hypocrisy is not something that I've been real world confronted with because I have grown up in a lot of very tolerant areas.
I had
So
a really good juxtaposition of like, I don't know. Um like my mom brought me to very like liberal and progressive churches.
mhm.
Um but like I had friends who would invite me to youth groups and shit. So like and like evangelical youth group is more fun. Like it's more fire and brimstone, but like they got really good snacks.
I'm done.
And the music's fun when you're, a teenager.
It's fire and brimstone. No, more I grew up in, like, well, I mean, I went to a Catholic school, and you're going to hell. The Roman Catholic Church, in my experience, was just not.
Catholicism's not fun.
No, it's just very whatever,
No, and
I
it's like
disliked
props
it.
on it, honestly, to like the evangelicals and fundamentalists and what have you, because it's like they take fire and brimstone, right? Like, because those are the fire and brimstone churches,
Mm-hmm.
but then they also like throw in a Velcro wall.
Just some fun, just a little
Just
razzle
some
dazzle.
fun, and it's like it works. It works. You get people so fucking into it.
No, I mean, I guess the closest to anything, like Seventh Day Adventists. I
I
had a
had
friend.
Seventh-day Adventist neighbors for a while.
Yeah, my friend who is a Seventh Day Adventist, when she came out to her dad, he like almost disowned her as much as he could disown her, because it's not like he had fortune. But he, disowned her as in, I am not going to acknowledge that you are my daughter, almost, but then he didn't. He was just a really, like, by the book, sort of, like, nice guy, giving guy, but talk about the gays, he's not having it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but I don't like that, though. That means that your empathy extends to only but so far. Was not my jam. Most religious spaces, I tend to like, I find the good in it, I find the bad in it. Roman Catholics, I went to a Roman Catholic school, and I just found it very stuffy, very traditional, very little room for any sort of other. And it was suffocating as well. They made us go every Tuesday. And if you didn't go, like, to service at least twice a month, not including like holidays, because you had to go to like mass on Christmas Eve and other times of the year. But I always remember my mom dragging us out for mass at Christmas Eve. I'm like, this is dumb. But like, if you didn't, then people like frowned upon you, even though it's like, I go to school here. I am not necessarily part of the church community. Like, I did not get confirmed or anything. I did not get baptized in the Roman Catholic Church, so I don't care. But I suffered. So, as I'm sure Marco has suffered.
Link to Ellie on the topic of religion. I love
I
Ellie.
don't know. Right. Okay, I actually do have feelings about it, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think that in this time, 100% I would agree with Ellie. I was going to a Catholic school around the time, like, that this was airing. Actually, I was in middle school, but I had gone to a Catholic school for a number of years. So that narrative was not unfamiliar, but I knew people. Then we started going to different, like, Christian churches, and there were other viewpoints, and I was like, okay, not everyone feels this way about gay people. But I would say that the Roman Catholic Church is pretty firm on that.
Yeah.
Catholicism's pretty firm on that. Not that I'm like, oh, they say fuck gays, but they say, I'll pray for your soul because you're going to hell.
And yet there's a good chunk of gay Catholics, because like growing
Yes.
up, I feel like Catholicism in particular is one of those that is hard to really fully
Mhm.
shake ever.
Correct. Yes, I agree with that.
And so what I think is important in that exchange of like when Ellie's like aghast that Marco identifies as a Catholic, and like
Mhm.
her being aghast is different from Linus, right? Hers is a
Right.
condemnation of the church.
Correct, yeah.
But the effect is the same. right? It's telling Marco, you don't get to call yourself a Christian
Mm-hmm.
because you're gay.
Because you ought gay.
And like, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I thought,
Yeah, I think that the fact that they're trying to convert people to Christianity or whatever, and it like I think it's weird to think about it, but I do have like too much religious experience for someone who probably identifies as agnostic at best. I went to a Swedenborgian college, which is a sect of Christianity based on the teachings of Emanuel Swedenborg, and it is a cult.
that doesn't even sound like a real thing.
It is a
You
real
went to
thing.
a
Google it.
Swedenborgian college?
Borgian College in Huntington Valley, PA. Brenathan College, you guys can Google it. It's a real place. They still send me mail for some reason. I'm glad that I moved from my mom's house, so they no longer have my address. But it is super much like their whole philosophy was like everyone is welcome in the kingdom of heaven. So everyone is accepted. We will accept all of you. And it's a beautiful premise, but it's more like we just want all of the people possible for our cult. Very, very opposite of what the Catholic Church is putting out, but I'm sure the yield is pretty similar. Like you're getting people who want to belong. The packaging is friendly. They've got pastures, they've got fields. You can like ride horses because they've got a lot of money. There's a lot of inbreeding, so
It's really not that hard to join a cult.
I could have joined the
Like,
fuck out of that
I'm
cult.
really glad that I had my cult experience as a teen.
Mm.
Because you know what? There are probably some things that I avoid because they feel culty, but they're fine. But I would rather like have that healthy bit of sounds kind of culty
Yeah.
than not.
I just think it's pretty complicated, and to boil religion down to one sort of like, okay, I am right, you are wrong. And the way that Linus is trying to make it like, okay, the Bible can only be interpreted in this way, and I am right.
Yeah, I would like to clarify. Like, I can't speak for Avis, but I'm gonna try to speak for both of us and say that like it's not that we are anti-religion or anti-Christian or like any of that. Like, I identify as a Christian. I'm not super active. I'm kind of in a stage of trying to figure out what that means to me at
Right.
this point.
Yeah.
But like religion is a really powerful tool, and every tool is a weapon if you hold it right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that, like we are seeing a microcosm of that right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Absolutely.
And in this instance it happens to be Christianity.
But the bones are the same of like radicalizing someone into your cause. And it doesn't have to be religiously motivated, but it can look and operate just like some extremist religious sects operate. Like I don't think that that's I definitely don't think that we're trying to like alienate anyone who is very into their religion, but I think that it would be a disservice to not admit that through these avenues a lot of people are abused.
Yeah.
Like through many other avenues people are abused,
Right.
and it can be good for, and you can like be fortunate to like find a congregation that does not have these sorts of seeds, but there's going to be people that interpret and like go to extreme levels with the Bible, just like any other religious
And I think you
text.
have to think about too, like the Bible is so fucking old.
Mm-hmm.
It is written in languages that nobody really knows anymore, right? I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
guess like people know Greek, but Greek and ancient Greek are also
They're
different.
different. Yeah.
And that thing has been translated and retranslated so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those times, maybe even most of those times, when like a big new official translation comes out, it's been to somebody's benefit
Right.
and with somebody's agenda in mind. And it works because these old dead languages are open to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dangerous, and that's frustrating.
It is. Um, it gives way to people who, unfortunately, Linus is charismatic in a way. Like, he's the way that people who feel like they need to protect their values and stuff, they endear to. Like him saying, we're going to make this school safe for normal people. Like, no one is forcing you to come to this safer sex seminar. No one is like, it is just
No,
having.
Linus is 100% like, if not a pastor, like a worship leader or some kind
Mhm.
of higher up in a church
Yeah.
that, among other things, like encourages its congregants to call in bomb threats to drag queen story hours. Like,
Yes.
that is what Linus is doing right now.
That is definitely what Linus is doing right now.
He's
Uh,
probably got a letter bomb campaign writing thing going right now.
oh gosh, this sucks. But it's true. It's very. He is not. He is already indoctrinated with what he needs to fuel people into crusades like this. Because it's not enough for you that people just have access to this. Like, this is not compulsory. This is not something Mrs. H is saying, we had a gonorrhea outbreak. This is every student must attend this. Like, every student must be there. Okay, that I could potentially see other students having a problem with. But no, this is just a seminar. This is just something that's optional, not using school time.
You know what, too, is like, here's the thing. If what you actually wanted to do was promote abstinence, but you still cared about the fact that, like, you were still realistic enough to acknowledge that, like, people are going to have sex, is
Mm-hmm.
you talk to Marco and you say, look, we would like
To set
10
up a
minutes
table.
at the end
Or
of your presentation to talk
Mhm.
about promote abstinence.
I would think that Marco would be, because he is a reasonable person in this episode. He would totally take that up. I don't think that, like, if you're respected and approached like a person who has ideas that differ from you, people are going to be more willing to have a seat at the same table with you versus you being like, no, everything that you're doing is wrong. Treating people like autonomous human beings is bullshit. You need to shut this down right now. Like, because it looked like a fair as well too. Like, they could have had a table set up with their ideas and have people be able to wander over and talk to them about abstinence.
Yeah. No, there were ways to do it. And that's the thing, is like, I'm like, fuck people who don't want to address the actual problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you show me a pro-lifer who is dedicating their time to ending abortion by, like, fighting for social safety nets and maternity leave and what have you, and, like, the root, because abortion is the fucking symptom, it is not the illness.
Right.
Like, and not that, like, those are words with really negative connotation, but, like, even in a perfect world, there is still going to be need for abortion, unless a perfect world means that, like, there are no complications ever with any pregnancy and nobody who doesn't want to be pregnant gets pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, if the goal is to like lessen abortion, then do the things that actually do that. If the goal is to raise abstinence awareness, then ask for a seat at the table.
Right. But he doesn't want a seat at the table. He just wants his to be, the only
He
seat.
wants to burn down the table.
Yeah. He's like, I just don't care
Thinks he's
that
Jesus flipping tables, and he's fucking not.
he's not. I don't care that people want to have sex and might do so unsafely. Various forms of sex anyway. Like
I mean,
they just don't need to be having sex, which is not
right.
realistic.
No.
You're trying to control shit that you can't control.
And you're using Spinner to fucking do it.
Spinner's going along with it like a demi.
Because he's fucking vulnerable. And like, fuck him, be responsible for your actions. But no, Linus has fucking preyed upon Spinner. And like, I think back to Redemption Song when they're sitting around in a group and he calls Spinner out on being responsible for Jimmy getting shot, which is something
Right.
Spinner, like, he completely ambushes him. Spinner doesn't even know he knows that.
Mm-hmm. He absolutely ambushes him. And that's the point. He's trying to ambush him to make him be vulnerable, because being vulnerable is a big thing that you can prey on to break someone down, and their defenses are non-existent because he's so fucking thrown off by the fact that he knows that, and that he's using it in a weaponized manner. Like, Spinner has no defenses and he's not able to recover from it, so he has no choice but to like open up, you know?
Yeah.
It's very tactical, very manipulative, and it's almost like he's reading out of a textbook. Like, Linus is just the worst kind of religious person. He's an extreme example of what happens when you feel emboldened by a text that tells you that you are superior because you believe in this. And not to say that that could be, insert religion here. It does not have to be Christianity. It does not have to be Catholicism. It none of that. It can be any sort of religion, but once you are emboldened to feel superior because of what you are consuming in a religious manner, you can take that and run with it a million ways.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that this boy is so harmful as a junior in high school. He is gonna go run. He has been running a fucking muck.
Oh, if he were American, he probably would have been one of the authors of 2025.
I was gonna say that it feels very American, the way that he's like just able to preach and gain that following. I mean, that's what's really stopping Friendship Club from being a legitimate club, is them having an advisor. An advisor would have shut this shit down a long time ago.
Right?
Had them doing like actual Friendship Club type activities. Like, is there a whole dunk tank thing cute? Sure. But
I
that's
do like the
literally
self-own of Dunkadork.
Dunkadork, very clever. However, you are still operating like really under, like, Linus can be this leader of the group, but there needs to be an advisor that is impartial, that is not gonna split any hairs about being like, you need to calm the fuck down, Linus. And
Yeah.
there's never any of that. And I guess that is literally one of the frameworks of Degrassi, is to have these kids solve their own problems. And they clearly don't have the faculty and staff to cover extracurriculars. So they just don't. They just don't mention it.
They just let the kid. No, because really, does any after school club, like Spirit Squad, doesn't have one? I mean, I guess basketball, all the sports have Coach Armstrong.
And yeah, in the future they have the Shep, because then he like discriminates against
Yeah.
Jane for the football team. So it's like they don't have an advisor when there needs to be emotional support or to stop a tyranny. But they do when there needs to be discrimination and bullying by a fucking authoritative figure.
Hey, hey, Coach Armstrong never discriminated or bullied.
He just told Gavin that he needed a shower. And what did he do most recently?
Probably broke up a fight.
Did he break up? Probably. Oh, I'm in a wheelchair. Yeah, I think was that him?
Yeah.
Probably.
I love Coach Armstrong.
I do too.
He did not come and break up this fight because it was Linus and Marco.
He's been criminally underused this season.
No,
Yeah,
they didn't need him.
they didn't need him. Linus just got bitch slapped. Like the bitch he is.
Yeah.
So justice. And yeah, Marco can obviously hold his own, but he looks very hurt because, like, damn, Spinner. We just went and saw fucking Clown Academy 2, which, how long has Clown Academy 2 been in the fucking theaters?
Couple months.
Like, is it that good to warrant being in theaters for at least several months? Because we had to go through that whole painful, like, Emma actually dating Peter. No, I'm not. Don't send the bulk email, all of that bullshit. And that was the opening night of Clown Academy. Must be a dry season. Because I'm not saying that...
It was the 2000s. How long was Dude, Where's My Car in theaters?
I don't know.
Because it sounds similar, right? It's hot babes and fart jokes and diarrhea. Like...
I will never find any sort of, like, bowel movement joke funny. I think the one that there's, like, the one in Scary Movie, what is it, 2? When they're parodying The Exorcist and the guy is on the toilet and is all the flies and he's like, those enchiladas.
You'll find.
That was funny. Okay, but I was like a child.
You're laughing now, recounting it.
Okay, but fucking nostalgia, Caroline.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, like, we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. I just listened to it about fart jokes, and, like, most of them are not good, but there are well executed fart jokes.
Wow, we did do that. I like the pee joke in Austin Powers Goldmember when he's, like, kicking his leg to simulate the fountain.
Yeah. See?
I was also like 12 when that came out.
Sometimes. It just has to be done right, and a lot of the time it isn't done right. But for some people, the bar is really low.
I guess. Okay.
I'm never gonna walk away from a movie and be like, "Oh man, that fart joke was the best thing of the movie." I hope not.
That would be unfortunate.
But like, is there a fart joke that can get a chuckle out of me? Yes.
That's fair. I would agree with that. But like, I don't know about
the fart in Step Brothers is so.
This is still something you have to force me to watch.
I know, it's
I will only watch it with you.
Favorite movies.
I will only watch it with you. Deadass.
And there's this scene, they've been going on job interviews and just being horrible at them the whole time. And they're wearing tuxedos. And then they go and they have this job interview with Seth Rogen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great interview. And he's like wrapping it up. He's like, I feel real good about this. You guys are funny. You have hair similar to mine. You're hired. And then John C. Reilly lets out this fart that lasts like way too long. And they all just sit there as it's happening. And then they're kind of talking about it afterwards. And Seth Rogen's like, is that ketchup? Ketchup and onion. I can taste it on the tip of my tongue.
Oh,
and
dear.
It's like, it's horrible and gross, and you have to see it in the context of Step Brothers, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking funny.
All right. Like I said, I told you I'll watch it with you.
I don't think I can watch Step Brothers with you for your first time.
Why?
Because I love it so much.
that you'll have high expectations. I need
Even
you
if
there
I
for the
try not to,
motivation,
like,
though.
I'm gonna be, like, looking to see if you're laughing at points, you know what I mean? Like, even if I don't want to, and I don't wanna add that pressure. But we can watch Step Brothers, it's fine, it is, like, my favorite movie.
Yeah, because I will need you to get through it in a successful manner. Um, I have been like on goldfish time when it comes to watching movies these days.
Okay, fine. Well, the next time we're together, we'll watch Step Brothers. It's really fucking
Fabulous.
funny, I
Because
think.
we only managed to watch the episode several times together. That's the only thing we watched together on the retreat. We were like
Yep.
doing other things, recording, etc. So
Sleeping. Our moms were at the grocery
sleeping
store for like 6 hours.
6 fucking hours. My mom said, I was like, "Oh, so you were at the grocery store because it was so far away?" She was like, "We were at the grocery store so long because we were fucking around." I was like, oh, "Okay."
I love your mom had a good time.
Yeah, no, she had a great time. I
Yeah.
checked with her like several times. I was like, I didn't want you to feel like it was like a play date, and I wanted you to like Caroline's mom. She's like, I love Amy. She was great. We had a great time together.
But
That's almost a direct quote. That's almost a direct quote.
it was kind of like, to a degree, it felt like when you're like a kid and you've got that like friend that's your mom's long distance best friend's kid and you see him like once every year or two.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yep.
very cute.
I had that kid. Thankfully, those couple kids that was a situation, I liked them all. Like, I was never like, you're taking me to this place to play with this fucking idiot. It usually was a good time. Like, one of them was a boy. He was a couple years younger than me, but he had cool shit. He had really cool shit and a pool. And like multiple things I could just ride on their land. So I was happy. So yeah, I'm good with that. Like, that was the situation. I'm happy it worked out. They literally went off without us for 6 hours.
It wasn't that long, but it was
It,
like
it felt like 6 hours. Like, they left at like
it was at least 3.
they left like early. It was before noon, if not right at noon. And because we got up early. My mom was up early. We're all up early, and then they're just like, "Yeah, we need food."
Hold on, because here's what I'm about to do is I'm gonna go to our chat and I'm going our conversation, yours and mine, not our mom's, and I'm going to search apple cider because do you want a hot apple cider? I texted you that at 10:09 a.m. on Saturday of that trip,
Mm-hmm.
which means our moms were gone by like 10:30.
Right. Damn, it was earlier than I thought.
And then they didn't come back till like 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was like, I don't want to send out the search part because I can see where my mother is. I know that she's okay. I know that she's with your mom, but damn, they did come back with like hella supplies though.
They came back with hella
They
supplies.
came back with like the good shit too because they're our moms and they've got money.
Yeah,
They were like, it was nice. Replenishment on everything. There were 2 types of seltzer. That's
they
how
bought
bougie
us.
it was.
Well, they didn't buy Ava's sushi Friday night, but they bought us sushi Friday night.
I saw what a sushi boat was for the first time. I had no idea that the shit was so fancy. I almost wanted to eat it based on presentation alone. And that's saying something for me because I don't fuck with anything from the sea. But yeah, my food was not great all weekend. It was not bad. It just wasn't like, when you want to go somewhere and you want to eat foodie food.
Yeah.
I didn't get to eat my foodie food, but it was okay.
Well, you should have told me you wanted to do that.
I do. I feel like that's most of what I enjoy about traveling nowadays is getting like a good plate of something. Um, but no, we have many trips, we'll figure
We
it
do
out.
have many trips. We should
Maybe we could
probably
base
go ahead.
maybe we could base one of the trips on a diners, drive-ins and dives episode. And I just love good comfort food as well. So it's like good, wholesome, like they use good ingredients. Like,
I wish I could take you to my dad's restaurant, but it's closed forever.
yeah.
It
It
was
is.
so good.
I travel for good food. I travel like 45 minutes for my Chinese place. I don't fuck around.
Dude, have I told you about like my favorite sandwiches from my dad's restaurant?
I don't think so.
Okay, my number one go to was called the green grilled turkey, and it was like a really good like hand cut turkey with Swiss red onion, avocado, and pesto on rye
Yeah, that sounds really
and
good.
like grilled.
Mm-hmm.
His sandwich that got him on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives was like a slow roasted pork.
Wait, you didn't tell me your dad was on
Oh, did I
Diners Drive?
not? Yeah,
No,
yeah. My
bitch.
dad's restaurant was on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives.
What episode?
It's either season 6, episode 11, I think is what it is, but it also, if it's not that,
Ooh.
it's season 11, episode 6.
Dyscalculia, huh?
Yep.
I
The
will.
episode's called Signature Sandwiches. Yeah, my blueberry. That's why I say that it's my dad's famous blueberry goat cheese pie, because it literally got him on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, look at you guys getting some Caroline lore at the same time as me. So wait, what is it called?
The episode is
Yeah.
called Signature Sandwiches.
Nope. Okay, so it's not season 6. So I'm doing this work for you guys. Okay? I'm
Well,
mostly doing it for me. It is season 11, episode 6,
okay,
Signature
there you go.
Sandwiches. You can watch it. Only I'm talking about US here. I'm not doing that legwork to look up anywhere else. Love you guys internationally. I don't know. Max, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Food Network Go, Discovery Plus.
Disclosure, they may not have that episode.
Mhm.
That it's coming up only means that they have Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives. Because sometimes I can watch it and sometimes I can't.
Yeah. Let me see if I can watch it. I'll do lay digging, but I think it is a thing. It's a thing you can purchase. And I might have watched it. I might have watched it and not known. I used to be a severe Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives like fanatic. I would watch it all the time.
It's entirely possible. I got to watch it, so I think you know, and maybe listeners know, but after my dad died, I
Mhm.
did like an ancestry.com test, and I found a half sister that he never knew he had.
Mhm.
And I've met her a few times, and the first time I met her, I went to her house, and like it's been really cool to get to know her. It sucked at first because I had to be like, yeah, your brother that you've always wondered about is dead. Um, but hey,
Fabulous.
he's got a fuck ton of kids.
Yeah.
Um, but I went over to her house and was like, oh, hey, you know what? Do you have Hulu? And got to like show her the segment, and she'd never seen it. And I got to like watch it.
You can watch it. Sorry.
Where are you watching it?
I have Max on.
Oh, badass. The last time I looked for it, they didn't have it. So yeah, if you want to see my
Oh, it aired
dad,
on my mom's birthday in 2011. That's so cute. I love that. Sorry, go ahead.
that's like kismet.
It is Kismet.
I'll text my stepmom and be like, your Triple D episode aired on my
Oh.
co-host mom's birthday.
Look at that. That's we are supposed to be in each other's lives. Look at that. But I love that and I'm going to watch it. So,
Yeah. But I got to watch that episode with his sister, which was really cool to get to do.
yeah, it's bittersweet.
She was really cute too at one point because like production actually had to pull my dad aside a couple of times and be like, dude, you got to tone it down. Like, this is not your show.
Oh, do
Because, and
not steal the
not that my
spotlight.
dad was like hamming it up, but my dad was just really
Excited.
fucking funny. No, my dad was just funny and witty.
Oh.
Like, there's at one point, like, there's all sorts of points actually. Like, my dad is paring the pie crust down, but he's using a big kitchen knife, and Guy Fieri's like, that's your paring knife? And my dad just shrugs and he's like, this is my only knife. because my dad was very like, you couldn't call my dad a chef. He did not like it. He would be like, I am a line cook.
Oh, okay.
Like, he did not have a set of knives. He went to culinary school for a little bit. He went to Johnson and Wales, but then he dropped out to chase some girl and then met my mom. Well, we'll talk about that another time. Um, let's just say my mom was bad at quarters and my dad was a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he was really funny. And he was like, not intentionally, but he was upstaging Guy Fieri. And so they had to like pull him aside. And so I'm
Yeah.
watching like the episode with my aunt and her being like, laughing at my dad and being like, I always knew I was funny, but I never knew where it came from.
Oh.
And like, I don't know. Life is weird. And it's
Life
kind
is
of
weird.
cool that I have this like
Piece of
7-minute segment of my dad that I can go and watch.
I mean, that's beautiful though. Some people don't have that, like, even any sort of moving video of.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I consider myself really lucky, even though like I need to like find a way to own it so that I can just have it.
Yeah, you can just, shouldn't you be able to buy it off of iTunes? Isn't that still a thing?
Maybe.
I have no fucking idea what.
I don't use none of my devices are
None of
Apple.
your devices are Apple. Okay, that's fair. No, I just remember having to like buy episodes for $2.99, whatever the fuck it is. We love a tangent, and this was a beautiful tangent.
I feel like this episode has been largely tangents. Sorry, guys. Some of them have at least been on topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I will try to wrap it up because honestly, I don't feel like I have much more to say.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much ready to move to the corner, but if you've got more to say, I'm also ready to hear it.
Just one thing about Darcy, which I usually don't admit, is just that her presence this episode is actually very necessary. And I think that her encouraging Spinner to like reconnect with his friends was really nice.
Spoiler alert, like I'm probably going to give her a shining star this week.
No, I would think that she would earn that. Honestly,
it was refreshing. I liked it.
Right.
It was nice to like Darcy for an episode.
It was nice to like Darcy for an episode because, good God, there's not that many opportunities. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm ready to move on.
Okay. I just want to start us off at the top with Alex and Paige.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even get a shot of what Alex is wearing. But I would bet that it is a tank top and
it's a tank top and jeans. It's gotta be.
And jeans.
Definitely a tank top, most likely jeans.
But it's a very cute, like, Paige is a lipstick lesbian.
Yeah.
And Alex is not, and they're cute together, and
she's got her bedazzled pink sunglasses, her bouffant, her pea necklace,
her like pearled
grandma pearl sweater, pink. It's pink. She's very much like giving, yes, I am newly lesbian and I am still of the lipstick variety. My first outfit was actually Marco. More for what the fuck his hair is doing, because I guess he took out his cornrows.
Good.
And good. And now he's just got like he's got a bandana on in front. He's got
out after he took them out.
Right. There's like a natural curl floof to it. Like a floof, like a fro.
It almost heavy looks curls like it could be matted under the top layer. I'll give you that.
There's something going on. And then his shirt is like, it kind of looks like comic panels, but then when you look closely, it's some sort of like graphic art. It's striking, but then obviously we're in this era where belts are they're just out here. So we've got the tri-studded belt that's red to match his bandana, and it is not actually belting anything. It is just over his shirt because of course it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's belts.
Belts, just
Belts
for
for fashion.
frivolity. I actually have one, speaking of belts, and it's a background character. This is my first background character in a while. Um, she caught my eye because she is wearing two belts. Neither of them are functioning in the way that belts are intended to function. They are just accessories, not holding up her pants. One has like the thick, like, I don't even know what the, like, metal squares, but there's I don't know why grommet. It's not grommeted. But like four squares of metal. That was kind of a common design. And then she's got a fluorescent pink, just regular belt underneath that, and they're stacked, and a green tank top, and like a black and white track jacket. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and then furthering the belts, I've got Marco after the movie where he's wearing a
Oh yeah.
plain black baseball cap with his red bandana underneath and like a collared black and white striped shirt with some sort of embezzlement where or
Mhm.
embellishment, not embezzlement.
Mhm.
Whoops. Where his titties would be if he was a girl. And then this gaudy, thick ass it looks like a women's
It looks like a women's, yeah,
like fashion belt, like the kind of belt that like you would have worn around your waist with a
with
dress
a dress.
in like the 2010s.
This is kind of giving, like, the cover for the Beyonce, the number ones album for Destiny's Child, like their last album. I'm pretty sure somebody is wearing this belt, but it's just a very big ass statement belt. It
With
was
like
what
a big round brass looking buckle.
Yeah, it's a misstep, and I mean, of course, I don't know why he threw on the belt. You know that he was basically out of the room. He was basically out of his room, and he decided to go back
It's like
for
Marco
the
does the
belt.
opposite of the what's the fashion advice is like look in the mirror before you go and take off two accessories.
Mhm.
And Marco instead adds two more.
Adds two more, the
It's
hat and
very
the
like
belt.
it's his own flavor, but it's very Aria Montgomery.
Oh god, it is. That girl, why did her outfits are so bizarre at, like,
Like he wouldn't wear forks as earrings.
but he might wear plates. No.
He
I
might wear I was thinking door knockers, so like yeah.
Ooh.
Not as
Mhm.
an as earrings, but like I as like a statement piece necklace. Oh my god, I hate Marco's fashion right now.
Mhm. Um I've got more Manny. I like her Babe t-shirt. I like the color of it, and
Mhm.
the roses on front. Um I don't know why. I'm pretty sure that this is something that she borrowed once again, but
Yeah,
it
I
it
feel
it
like her wardrobe is giving is still borrowing from Emma's. Like
mhm.
the tummy that she's showing.
Yeah, it's cuz Emma's longer in the torso. Um
Well, and because it's
and
Emma's old
she's
clothes.
and right, no, I mean, cuz it doesn't look like anything Emma would wear, like, now. She
Right.
is clearly in her, like, J. Crew knockoff era. 'Cause she cannot afford J. Crew, and neither could I.
But it's
But
like Emma's last year wardrobe.
mhm.
Even though it wasn't really.
Even though it wasn't. It's
But
just clearly
somehow it's
not.
still like because same with when they're in the kitchen with Caitlin.
Mhm.
The shirt that Manny's wearing, which is actually wicked cute.
It's
It's
very
got
cute.
like kind of pastel colors in like diagonal like triangles
Mhm.
across it. Um
And, like, a string to, I think, possibly
yeah,
make
it's
it
got like some
scrunched on the
potential
side.
ruching.
Yeah.
Um
Very cute.
but it looks like an Emma shirt.
Mhm. Just probably an Emma shirt that for some reason we haven't seen, but still looks like hers.
Mhm.
Um, she's wearing in the same counterpart as the Babe shirt, Emma's got on this like yellow like quarter length sleeved shirt, and then like an olive green tank top underneath, like white, are these white Bermuda shorts?
They might be, and her
I think
belt,
her belt is just like a fucking
a
silk
scarf.
scarf. I'm pretty sure that with that combo, these are 100% Bermuda shorts. Dear God. None of this matches. But yeah, so that's what she's rocking. And then some of those like Skechers shoes, I took a picture of the like like granny looking flats with a heel that she's sporting, and they're also yellow. Manny's got on like chunky Reebok looking shoes cuz she's a shorty and she needs height. But man, I know we see this sweater on Emma again, this like ombre
Yeah,
white, like it kind of looks like the outfit Paige wore.
everybody had this sweater.
I know, but the chocolate is more of an Emma look than a
Mhm.
Paige look, but it's still, and it's paired with like just the worst. What is with her wanting to wear like capris and Bermuda shorts and all of the worst things about this era? Why is she wearing these shorts, these capris that don't match the top? I think they look more black than brown. They're not, and you know what? Hatsalakos does that shit too. I know I wasn't stressing about pairing my blacks with my browns and my browns with my blacks for this bitch to be over here in like a really frumpy looking black pinstripe blazer and then a blue fucking skirt. Like so boldly.
I love how much umbrage you take with it. I really like Marco's hat. I want to make it.
His little knit beanie. It's
Yep.
adorable. That outfit's not the worst, but then he like puts on a jacket with it that's and then his pants are like plaid with that outfit.
Hmm.
They're like faintly plaid. I don't know what his fashion is doing. Ellie Nash is an outfit repeater.
Yep.
Except they put her in flats instead of boots, and they ditched the socks, but they thought I wouldn't notice. And I did.
I had Darcy's outfit, her like green shirt, a green polo, and like pale yellow pants, but the pale yellow pants are too big and do not fit right.
They don't, and then the shoes she's wearing with them are like an old like orthopedic, like opened, like wide, there's no thong in the middle, so it's just like slip on foam velcroed horrible shoes. You can see her like her leg is crossed during the scene at the dot, and you can see them better, but they are very thick, geriatric. My grandmother used to wear these kind of flip-flops, so I know. They provide a lot of support. I don't know why she's wearing them with this outfit. Um, and I love what Manny's wearing at the cheer up spike party.
Yes.
It's like it looks like a dress at first sight, but it's like a halter top and then
Skirt
a skirt with like a slit in it, and it looks like the material is like
with a slit in it and like a flare to it.
a flare to it. Yep, the
It would be
material's got
really
a
good for
flare.
dancing, I bet.
Yes. I
Um,
also got to shout out Spike.
in her booby top.
Her blue booby top and her red skirt that I guess probably goes a bit above the knee. But then also Amanda, the actress,
Mhm.
has a really, really pretty tattoo. on her leg.
Yeah.
A
The
flower
booby
tattoo.
top was a miss for me.
I like the
It
boobies.
was
It's very of
close,
its
but the
time.
buttons were too big, or like the top was too high.
I think I had like, well, no, I had something similar, like when overalls and baby doll type dresses were back in style, and I had this really cute, like this same material and these same sort of buttons, and it was like a mini baby doll dress that I wore over like Henley's.
It's
So
close.
I maybe that's why I have like a nostalgic thing for
Here's
it.
the thing is it's close to being a hit,
Hmm.
but like it's where the strap falls on her chest.
So you feel like if it was tighter and there were no
No, not
buttons,
tighter necessarily. Like I feel like if it was a little lower.
oh, you want it to be lower. You don't think it looks good so like high on her neck?
Yeah, yeah. I want it to
Hmm.
be like I don't know, just a little further down like her
Mhm.
sternum.
Oh, okay. I can
And
see.
then I think it would be good. But I think it's just the space between like the start of the boobs to the end of the shirt
Mhm.
is too big for me.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Interesting. I want to know why Caitlin is wearing this outfit to see a stripper. It doesn't look good. It's got some weird like triangle diagonal pattern going across it, like a diamond, more like a diamond. Like it's not.
Because she's not interested in the strippers, she's got Kevin Smith.
She's got a whole lot of Kevin waiting for her in LA. No, I don't. I just don't care. Dress better, Caitlin. Dear God, it looks so matronly, and not even in the sense of like. I just think that she doesn't dress like this, so it's really weird in contrast to like how Spike is dressed to see her just looking so frumpy.
Yeah, it's very like it's giving like stay at home mom
Mm.
busted out her nice shirt from JC Penney.
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree with that. It feels like this is not even a flattering color. They're like the bra she's wearing, her
Yeah, it doesn't fit her right.
no, it doesn't fit her right. She's swimming in it. Um, oh
Yeah,
god. Yeah, unfortunate. I like Emma's outfit at the baby shower. I said the baby
at
shower.
the baby
At the
shower.
well, where the fuck is Jack? At the stripper shower.
Is he just like napping in the other room? Is he
He
at Joey's?
now that could be child endangerment. If you want to talk about inappropriate, having the baby take an indefinite nap. Just like
Right? Are we just giving baby
don't take the baby
he
out of the
doesn't
crib.
actually have colic or croup or whatever else. Spike's just like drugging him with Benadryl like it's the 70s.
Mhm. I think that sounds more cause for distress than anything that's going on here. No, it feels like there's got to be like the baby go bye-bye for this plot. Baby go
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Maybe
He'll be
he's
back
staying
next
with
plot.
Spike's mom.
For Mexico, they never went to Mexico.
They never went to Mexico. And like maybe
She's
Spike is just like,
overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm angry. Like I do not need this crying snot and shit factory right now.
Mm. All right, booked because poor fucking baby. Okay, child been born into chaos. But
Before we slide into shots fired, we've got a black hole. We've got two black holes actually.
I hope that they're who I think they are.
It's Linus and Melinda.
Beautiful. Bye, bitches.
So long, farewell. Have we to sing adieu?
Adieu. Yeah.
Adieu, adieu to you and
Yeah,
you
and
and
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Do,
I
do,
was
do,
so
do,
proud. One of my kids is like, "Have you seen The Sound of Music?" And I was like, "The one with Julie Andrews. Have they remade it already?" She was like, "No, the one with Julie Andrews." I was like, "Oh my god. Yes, I love that fucking movie."
It was my Aunt Katie's favorite movie when she was a kid, and like my mom and her siblings grew up in Vermont,
Mhm.
and which is where the Von Trapps wound up. Like there's
I
a
didn't know
Von
that.
Trapp lodge that you can stay at that
Oh,
like
that's cool.
um and when like the real Maria Von Trapp died, my Aunt Katie was really confused as to which one because she referred to Julie Andrews as the real Maria Von Trapp
Naturally.
and the real Maria Von Trapp as the fake one.
Mhm.
I mean, she figured it out eventually, but she's
Right,
like,
but
"Wait, which one died?" My
let's
grandmother was like, "The real one," and so she was like, "Julie Andrews."
Mhm.
Anyway, black hole, another tangent. Von
No, yeah,
Trapps.
Von Traps. Well, bye Melinda and bye Linus, because I don't care about either of you, and you did very
Don't
little.
take care. Hope to
Don't
see you never.
don't pass go or do pass go. Wait, pass go. Go directly to jail. Do not collect whatever dollars. Bye, bitch. Less spirited, but I still mean it. Yeah. Let's go fire some shots before I
Let's go fire
fucking
some shots.
crash. Clearly, because words are wording my ass right now.
It's a Sunday. Do you have snow at all or no?
No, boo, we got rain and ice.
You guys, I have so much snow. We have like 6 inches of snow.
I would prefer snow. I know
No.
that's controversial, but it's gross out here.
I live on a busy road and like a plow and maybe 3 cars have gone by since we've been recording.
Oh, okay. That means everybody should be in their motherfucking houses.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's fire some shots. Pew,
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 pew, pew,
pew.
pew.
Shots fired.
You want to start it?
Sure. I have Paige at the top saying, Spinner, may I suggest methadone to kick the Christian habit?
I had that one. I have two before that though,
Okay.
which is Jimmy after after he dunks Spinner the first time. Spinner's like first shot or first hit all day,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes won't be the last.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Marco's like, dude, give Spinner a break, and he goes, I think Gavin is fine, and it's the use of like his government name there, you know.
His government name, indeed. um, I have Manny saying, Derek, your friend's an idiot. And Derek responding, I'm aware.
I have Danny guessing that Manny weighs 140.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about putting that on there. Although I'm like, only if I was carrying an entire 8-year-old. I I think that that's a little bit generous
I think maybe Manny
upon
just
the
doesn't know
average.
what
Yeah,
an 8-year-old
I think that
weighs.
she does not know what an 8-year-old weighs because they're packing at least 50 pounds, girl.
I think that she's
50 to
picturing an
70.
8-year-old weighing like 20 pounds.
Yes, but that's the average, like maybe 2.5, 3-year-old. These kids eat. That's why they're so heavy to lift up. They be coming out 10 pounds, Manny.
Right? They grow.
Like, they grow. They eat. No, yeah, that was funny. I have Emma saying, okay, I think removing you from public is a good idea for us all.
Yeah. I have Jimmy saying there's not much brain to wash.
Yes. I have Spinner saying, does the gay superhero know you took his belt?
I have Marco saying you have not changed at all, except for the hair, man. Thank God for that.
Mm-hmm. I've got Spinner saying to Hatsalakos, I thought you were a good Christian. And her response, you're on very thin ice, Gavin. Don't make me regret letting you back in this school.
I have Darcy after Spinner says, I answer to someone a lot higher.
Yeah.
Hitting him with who? Linus?
Mm-hmm. I have Alex saying, yeah, and you're promoting stupidity.
Before that, I have Ellie saying, you have the faintest idea what you're protesting.
Paige.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Paige. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I definitely got skimpy on the, because I was like, there's a lot of bullshit flying back and forth. But the one that I did get, which is my last, is Marco saying, who is this bigoted freak?
Same.
Because I'm
I
like,
do
everything
wanna
else is like, that's a lot of words that are not good words.
in all of our tangents, I forgot to mention it, but Marco said the R word.
He did. He did. He said the R word. Linus said the F word. This is a very
Not
dated
the cool F
episode.
word.
Not the cool F word, the other one. This is a very dated episode. I feel like the latter has been reclaimed. The former has totally seen a resurgence, which is problematic in and of itself, but yeah, it's always not been a casual thing to drop.
Yeah. Okay, so who shines?
Well, I will agree with you there about Darcy, because I really do think she pushes him positively, and a lot of positive outcomes come from things that she's personally facilitated.
Mhm.
But I really am struggling to find another person. I mean, maybe Emma,
Marco.
because she's Marco. Right, Marco's just trying to fucking educate, and he has to whip some ass. I will.
And that he's able to do the Christian thing and like step outside of his own feelings and look at Spinner and be like, you know what? Yeah, that's got to be lonely.
Yeah.
And like giving Spinner grace and room for redemption, not because it's what Spinner deserves, but because it's what people deserve.
Yeah, second chance. Um, no, I agree with that. But I feel like Emma's heart was in the right place, even though she was quite annoying personally. But I think that she doesn't do anything that's like harmful. Her heart is really trying to cheer up her mom, and I think that that's sweet.
Yeah,
And
no,
she doesn't get in their fucking business. She stays the fuck out of their business, basically. She's just trying to cheer her up, which I appreciate. Like, you don't have to involve yourself in the relationship to be of aid. Um, I don't know that anybody else,
no.
because Jimmy sucked.
Yeah, bummers. Jimmy, Spinner, Linus.
Yeah, the three
Um,
horsemen. Or is there four? I think there's four. Um, Ellie, because I think her contributions were
lackluster at best.
lackluster at fucking best. Yeah.
Leaves one more question.
Mm-hmm. Does it go there?
Does it go there?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
yeah, I'd say it goes there.
Mm-hmm. Just based on the like handful of conversation we actually had about this episode, but the religion and the sexuality, the intersection of those two, those are hard-hitting topics for a
I mean, Spinner's inner
show.
struggle between
Right.
like what he's been told is the path to redemption and the true path to redemption.
Right.
You know,
We
like
got some heavy shit being dealt with on both sides in a very like careful way. I think they do a really good job.
yeah, it goes there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it goes there pretty well.
It does.
Thanks for listening to your mom's Pahdcast. Next week, we will be joined once again by Emily Ann, this time to discuss Emma's descent into disordered eating in Our Lips Are Sealed, parts 1 and 2. This episode of Your Mom's Pahdcast was made possible in part by Friendship Club, Infidelity, and support from listeners like you.
All righty. Okay. We would like to take a moment to thank our Patreon subscribers. Tay,
Evie,
Miranda,
and an extra special thank you to our TiddySnake producers, Alyka,
Brandi,
Chelsea,
Corrie.
and Tawny. Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
guys. Love you.
If you'd like to further support our show, you can find us on TikTok and Facebook as Your Mom's Pahdcast. We also have a Facebook group of the same name. And you can find us on Instagram at YMPadcast. Your Mom's Pahdcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscriptions and reviews are another great free way to support us. However, if you're interested in supporting us in not free ways, we have a lot of great bonus content on our Patreon, and some great merch at our shop, which can be found at your-moms-padcast-shop.fourthwall.com. And remember, that's Pahdcast. Pahdcast. Thank you.